Hi, my name is Vanina Saracino. I'm an independent curator, and I'm here with you today to present a program I curated on CIFRA that is called Solar Prospects. And we're gonna meet one of the artists as well at her atelier. Let's go. I'm gonna take you now to a place that is very dear to me, that is called the Archenhold Observatory. This is a space where I did an exhibition together with my colleague Daniela Riado in 2022. It was called Other Minds. It was part of the Screen City Biennial. So we're here at the Archenhold Observatory in Treptower Park in Berlin. And this is the Great Refractor. It's a 21-meter long, as you can see, telescope. It was built in 1896 in Berlin for the Great Exhibition, in which Germany was exhibiting its prowess, its technological power, and the building was built afterwards, in the 60s and so on. Please come. The telescope is still functioning to these days, and you need between 2 and 4 people to operate it, and it produces images that are not at the same quality of the images that are produced by modern scientific instruments with the modern lenses, but still, it's beautiful, right? In 2024, I was doing a residency at the North Norwegian Art Center in Lofoten, in Northern Norway, and the sun didn't come out for a month. And it was the first time that I spent such a long time without seeing the sun or without feeling the warmth of the sun, and it really affected me very, very deeply. I think this was one of the starting points also for me to think about the playlist, the film program that I present on CIFRA, Solar Prospects. In Norway, especially at those latitudes where I was in Lofoten, the sun doesn't come out for months, and when it comes out, people have an expression that is to sit in the wall of the sun, which means as soon as the first sun rays come out, people look for a white wall, then they put their bodies with the back against the wall and facing the sun to maximize the exposure to the illumination and to the warmth. And I find this beautiful because it is a sort of choreography of bodies that is created. And we see this as well in Berlin. I was born in the south of Italy. The sun is really incandescent, and we don't have a relationship with the sun that is only based on exposure. It's also based on protection. And in Sardinia, which is another region in Italy, they have this, they consider the sun as a meridian demon. Is a demon that can steal your mind, and kids are told that they shouldn't go out between midday and 4 p.m. when the sun is strongest, because otherwise the sun would steal their mind. And I think it's very beautiful to see how each culture relates to the sun in a different way.
While listening to her story, I imagined that we Etherians, having human bodies, would keep the skill to photosynthesize. But already in the Soviet Union they thought about it, naming it as human autotrophy.
One of the most thrilling things about the sun for me is the fact that our eyes and the sun can never meet. We can never look into I'm trying now, but it's blinding me. So our eyes are shaped in a way by sunlight, because evolution on planet Earth is a product of the sun, and the sun is the energy, the engine, the energetic engine of all this evolution. And the eye, especially, is an organ that is born in reaction to sunlight. But at the same time, this organ and the sun can never meet. And this makes me think a lot about, do you know this painting by Michelangelo? It's called The Creation of Adam, where you have the god and Adam. There is an attempt of the god to touch the human and the human to touch the god, but neither of them can ever reach the other. This is also one of the few museums where you can actually touch a meteorite. And I love this experience of just closing my eyes and touching this object that has been sculpted by cosmic forces and just landed on Earth. And here's the sun. These days it was possible to see the northern lights from Berlin, which is a very rare episode. And I've seen them many times from Northern Norway, but from Berlin it has never happened to me. And one of the reasons that I have actually started drafting the program, the Solar Prospect for CIFRA, is because the solar activity has been particularly intense between 2024 and 2025. Solar activity in this period has reached its peak, and it is now somehow slowing down. The program is also inspired by Alexander Chizhevsky, who was a biophysicist from the Soviet era. And he saw a correlation between periods of high intense solar activity and periods of lower intense solar activity and how people would react. In his view, when the solar activity is very, very intense, also the human behavior changes, it intensifies. And wars start to happen, warfare becomes more intense. So I found it particularly interesting and impressive for the political state in which we find ourselves and the state of the world, of the economic crisis, the extreme turn to the right, the polarization of political perspective. It is a very speculative thinking, of course. It is not scientifically proven, although Krzyzewski was a scientist, but it is an interesting speculation that helps us thinking how the sun is a force that traverses our bodies, and not just our individual bodies, but also our collective bodies as a society, and how this changes the relationships among us. So we left the Archenhold Observatory now, and we're going to visit Amalia Valdés at her studio. Amalia is an artist from Chile, and we've been collaborating together on the playlist The Solar Prospects, and she is so kind to welcome us to her studio today. Please follow me. Hi, Amalia. Hola.
Hi. How are you?
Thank you for welcoming us here today.
My pleasure. Yeah.
So, would you like to show us what you're working on right now?
For sure, yeah. Well, right now I'm working on a series of painting, actually an exhibition that I will show in Chile at the end of April. So I have a lot of different works. Here are like a series of paintings on corks. And it's like a calendar, a sacred calendar from Maya cultures that I'm working a lot with.
I guess the sun is also coming into your practice under one of these beautiful symbols that you use across timelines, across culture.
Yes, actually here it is. I mean, I'm working a lot with this astrology. This is a symbol of the moon in Maya culture, and this is a symbol of the sun. In this calendar, it's a very important point because it's the end, but it's also the start, going again and again and again. I use a lot with that symbol that in South America called chacana. That is a cross, a very important cross from the Andes culture. It's like a bridge between like the universe and the earth.
And the symbol, the chacana, or chacana.
Yeah.
Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yes.
This is also the symbol on which your work on CIFRA is based, the one that we included in the playlist in Solar Prospects.
Yes.
I remember, right? And this is a symbol that gives us a direction, a temporal direction, a spatial direction, no? Because I believe you mentioned once that those are the 4 cardinal points.
As you said, like that is right, like the 4 cardinal points, and also helps the people at the starting season for seed to protect the fields. And for CIFRA, I made this video that the chacana is starting to grow in an organic developing, and it's growing like in the sky in terms of what we know that is there, always present for us, but we really cannot touch it, but it's like there if we really believe. So for me, that is a kind of connection with spirituality and also with indigenous cultures that I feel it's really important to not forget that kind of knowledge.
Absolutely. We are very lucky today that Berlin is sunny and that it has been sunny for the past week. I come from Italy, you come from Chile.
Yeah.
And how was for you the impact with the lack of sun in Berlin?
Well, at the beginning, the first year was really strong and hard to see like this gray like all the time and really short days, because in Chile we always have the sun. Even in winter time in the first year was really a big impact.
So when it comes out in Berlin, we kind of feel we cannot stay inside, indoor. No, it's a good moment to get out and find a spot in the sun.
For sure.
So maybe we should go out.
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
I'd be very happy if you could watch solar prospects on CIFRA. And one recommendation I can give is be patient. Put your headphones on because the sound is very important in those videos. And yeah, let yourself be surprised. Try to approach the videos with no expectations, but with patience and with curiosity.